You know, Chip, we have been here in Salisbury for 3.5 years now. What brought us to St. Luke's when we first came?
Well, I attended a diocesan youth conference here in the early 60s. Plus, I already heard from several of our friends and a brother that we needed to go to St. Luke's when we moved here. And it sure didn't hurt that we got an email from the rector before we even got here inviting us to come. I imagine in this case you came because I did.
Well, yeah, but now that we are here, there's a lot of things that keep us here.
You know how strongly we both feel about music being an integral part of worship. Here we can be a part of a fine music program under Matt Wood's leadership with choirs for all ages and handbells. When we have him in the budget full time, he will take over the Canterbury Ringers and I will be able to retire.
And thanks to Caroline Stevenson, we have probably one of the most seamless online broadcasts around. St. Luke's is really fortunate to have her as our Director of Youth and Children's Ministry and Communications.
Speaking of online worship and talent, how difficult it must be to lead worship and preach each week with just a camera and less than a handful of people there to assist. Father Robert has preached some of the most meaningful and pertinent sermons and has been such a strong leader in some very uncertain times. We could not have thrived as a church community during this pandemic if it had not been for his leadership. I am so glad that we can afford him in our budget. Wow, there's so much that we can be thankful for here at St. Luke's.
You know, giving back to the church, and not just with our pledges, but contributing our time to the church's activities and ministries, that's what makes me feel a true part of things. Serving as church treasurer, I see what it takes to keep the church running smoothly day to day. Pledged income lets us know what we can count on when we set up the budget. We must continue our current level of giving just to maintain what we have, but if we want the church to do more, we're going to have to give more. The cost of maintaining and growing staff and ministries is constantly increasing. Plus, we want to be able to reward our staff appropriately.
As usual, you are so right. I'm glad we've got St. Luke's and each other.
Oh.